Nobody's looking at Sit comfortable. Exhale a deep breath out. Inhale a deep breath in. Notice if there's any tension in your shoulders, in your neck. Just try to move your body. Maybe drop your shoulders a little bit more. Move your neck from side to side. Notice the touch of your body on the surface that you're sitting on. Notice this connection between the chair and your body. Now try to loosen up and drop your weight on the chair. Just a little bit more. Allow the gravity to pull you in so that you can be more relaxed. And more present in the moment. Take a deep breath in and exhale from the nose. Another breath in and release. And the last one, a deep breath in and relax. As now you're present in this moment, I encourage you to bring your intention and attention to be fully aware for the next 45 minutes, to be focused and attention to be focused and attentive to all the discussions, ideas, input from all of us who are present together. Learn wisdom and from each other's experiences. Open your heart to take some insights with you that you can apply and improve your well-being, your attitude, your productivity, your state of mind, and your overall health. Set this intention in your heart. And take another deep breath in and exhale. All right, noticing the difference now? Are you a little bit more present? A few less thoughts? A little bit more connection with your body, with your mind, right? So a lot of people question sometimes, oh, I don't have the time to meditate. I don't have the time to really pay attention because I have so many things to do. But it really, really takes about 5 minutes to just bring your energies together. It's that simple. So every morning, set your intentions for the day, one intention for the day. It could be anything in general as well. Today, I'm going to be more peaceful. Today, I'm going to be more open to other people's feedback. Today, I'm going to be, so each day when you allow yourself to be open to a few things that you struggle with, you'll notice that your resistance will drop down. And that is going to allow you to be more embracing, more loving, more kind. So now let's get back to the topic, mental health. So what do we understand of the mental health? It's a very, very important topic, right? We all know that since last probably maybe I'd say it was in America, it has been a story for about last 10, 15 years that people have really started paying attention to it. But during the COVID times, it brought world's attention, right? So in your own words, I'd like to know from you, what is mental health? We're going to just make it very quick because there's a lot that we need to be covering. But I just want to start with this conversation so that we can understand from everybody's perspective. What do you think of mental health? And what are the ways that some of you have tried to improve it? Anyone? Come on. We just said the intention. We didn't make you quiet. so let's go ahead. Yes, Rick.
Taking right decisions on the difficult situations and worst situations and being calm and positive every time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I focus.
That's a challenge I'm still struggling with.
No, that's what I try to focus even when I get, in terms of anger. So then I assess myself, okay, keep quiet what you're doing. So that way I, work on myself.
Beautiful. So that's a lovely thing. And when you're able to control your mind, that is sometimes pushing you to do things that you don't want to do, you feel a little bit more in control. You feel that you do have some sense of control, right? Which is a very good thing, a positive thing. Who else can share?
See, for me, mental health is something, Simi, when whatever is happening around you, maybe a bad thing or maybe a negativity, if you're able to take it in a constructive way, if you're able to take a feedback in a constructive way, if you're able to take an argument in a constructive way, and if you're able to, take everything around you which is happening in a way that, okay, there might be a learning or there might be ignorance. You can ignore it or you can learn it. This is the right mental health, because mental health is not only about your peace. Mental health is about creating peace around you. So if you are in peace, you will take everything, very light. Okay, an argument happened.
Yeah,
that's fine.
So you do have a certain lovely. So there's a space between the stimulus and the response. So you're not reacting to the environment, you're responding to the environment. That's lovely. Very, very powerful. Who else? Thank you so much, Gagan. It's a great input. Anyone else who wants to share what is mental health for you?
Staying aware.
Yes, Steve.
Yeah, staying present and more aware about the situations. So your awareness, like I said, more focused awareness. We have a good state.
Yeah. Sure. More focused awareness so you can manage the states of your mind, because we keep on jumping from one state to another every day. Millions of times we are jumping, literally it's a momentary things at times. That is a very powerful way of understanding it as well. Anyone else? One more person?
Yep, this Scott. Sorry, ladies first. Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's just knowing you completely, totally. I mean, when you know yourself, then this is kind of, completely a kind of yoga when you know everything about you, like who are you?
Yes. Oh my God, that's next level. Thank you. Yoga is building, definitely. It's a connection with yourself. Well, I'd say that maybe this is a very good expectation, Ragini, that we are going to know everything about us, but it's a journey, literally, because it's a situation where a lot of times what we think that we know of ourselves is also not true, because we're conditioned to think about ourselves in a certain way as well. How? World has been telling us you are this, you are this, you are this, you are this, right? So
Yes.
even starting from our parents, from our families, from the social structure. So a lot of the information that we have about ourselves is also fabricated.
Yes,
It's
but
not
then
100%.
yes, but then it is not like what other people say you, that you're not that person, the actual you. I mean, what we are in actual, not
What we are
what
in
others are saying.
Absolutely. I love it. And it definitely helps our mental health a lot, because when you stop seeking validation from outside world, you become more in sync with yourself. And that's what yoga's aim is anyways. It is about your connection with yourself and connection with the world outside. Lovely. Thank you so much, Ragini. Yes, Scott.
Thank you, Simi, and thank you, Ragni. Simi, I just want to continue from the point mentioned earlier, controlling your emotional leakage. Ever since I've become a father of a daughter, it's not easy to control all your emotions at check. But again, being a father of a daughter, and to be honest, I'm not sure people will agree or not, but WhatsApp has also helped me control my emotions. The thumb rule, take 10 seconds, take a deep breath before you answer anything. That has actually helped me, when I'm probably talking or speaking to someone in a conversation, I need to react instantly. I don't do it now. Why? Because in a WhatsApp conversation, when you have to react instantly, you can type it, edit it, delete it, and then send it, right?
Yeah.
So that has helped me to grasp those 10 seconds and then reply. So that has helped me over there. But again, controlling emotional leakage for me. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is great, because emotional well-being is the basis of everything that we do, because we are nothing but emotional beings. And if you say, how is this true? Sit with yourself alone for 10 minutes. You'll have all sorts of emotions coming through, starting from the temporary joy to the temporary depression, and all range of emotions in between. Why? Because we're always thinking. We're thinking beings, right? So the moment we start to think about one thought that is like a past memory that was too joyful, what will happen is you'll start to experience some sort of chemical release from the brain that is making you feel good. And then we think about, oh, but you know what? And then there's another thought from the office. Oh my God, but I have to finish this assignment. I hate it. And immediately the emotional graph went down, and now you're frustrated because it also reminded you of your stupid boss or a stupid coworker in your mind. I'm not saying you're stupid, but that's how we think, because we have denominations. We have created the pattern of thinkings about everybody. We're judgmental. I mean, let's be fair about it. All of us are somehow, somewhere judgmental about each other. And then we go from range of emotions, right? And it could also lead to remembering of a heartbreak that you had about 5 years ago, or somebody betrayed you, or somebody insulted you, or you felt that, oh man, why did I do this mistake? I should have taken that opportunity 5 years ago. Could have been a millionaire by now, right? And then you start to beat yourself up as well. So this keeps on happening. Just want to also say to Shruti, I don't see myself on the screen. If that's okay with you, it's perfectly fine. But however you want to record it. So just a reminder, because.
So we are able to see you, Simi. So
okay, yeah.
You are in the spotlight for our screen. Yeah.
That's fine. It's for the recording purposes. I mean, obviously we are seeing it.
Yeah.
So this is wonderful. And thank you so much for, first of all, participating. It's a great one, right? I'm sure that you're all agreeing to it. So let's just put it in a nutshell. Mental health is your psychological, emotional, and social well-being. It's your psychological, because it affects how you think, how you make your decisions, how you respond to the environment. Emotional, because everything is emotional anyways. How you react to the world is completely dependent on how you think and how you perceive everything. And for the most part, we are always dealing with emotions, whether we are aware of it or not. Subconsciously, there is an emotional being in you that is 24/7 active. Only sometimes when you go into the deep sleep, you don't experience any emotions. Otherwise, you're always experiencing emotions. And third is your social well-being. Having a great mental health allows you to make better decisions, set proper boundaries, help people deal with you properly, help people treat you properly. And that in turn allows you to build a very strong connection, respectful connections, and also a self-worthiness and self-confidence that all of us crave for. Like, we want to be treated right, but that all begins from within you. If you don't know how to treat yourself right, the chances are that you're not going to be able to tell someone how to treat you. So many people come and tell me in my private coaching practice that so-and-so is responsible for my unhappiness, or they blame each other, or they blame their coworkers, or there's continuous energy that is going outside. So I ask you, and I ask them as well, do you know how you treat yourself? Have you paid attention to that? And it all starts from your self-talk, how you talk to yourself. How do you think about yourself? If you think that I deserve respect and you feel it in your bones, only then you can communicate that belief to someone else. But if you do not have that belief within you, you're not going to be able to communicate that to others. Self-leadership is the only way to be able to create the leadership or some sort of influence or some sort of connection in the social world. And that means knowing myself, as Ragini said, being in control to a certain extent, and have internal self-worthiness that you transfer to others, which in turn allows you to experience all the things that you want other people to do to you. And it starts from you, from your mental health, from your emotional well-being. So the reason this topic is so very important, and we're connecting that with yoga, is one, because often people think that mental health is about anxiety, stress, depression, schizophrenia, or several other diagnosed diseases. Now, they're all very much related to mental health, but mental health is a general state of our mind as well, which can lead to all of these things, which can lead to chronic stress, which can lead to anxiety. Like in my case, my whole journey of life coaching and really getting into this industry started by having this continuous struggle with anxiety disorder. It all started with panic attacks, like real severe panic attacks. And I became suicidal. I was hopeless, because when mental health deteriorates to a certain extent, you start to lose the control over your thoughts, and it can lead you to do things that you don't want to do. Now think about this. Somebody like me who comes across such a strong personality can go through this. That means that we are all susceptible to it. There are some people who are more susceptible to it, and those are the people who have had childhood trauma. I had significant amount of childhood trauma that was buried in my body as a trauma body, especially when we do not address it, or when we never are able to explain it to anybody else, or we're not able to communicate. And I have worked with more than 500-600 people one-on-one in the last 3-4 years. And I can tell you this, all of us have some sort of childhood trauma, whether we are aware of it right now or not. And there's a reason. The reason is that when we are younger, like 5, 6, 7, 8 years of age, or until we cross 10 years of age, our brain is in the developing stage, and we're just absorbing everything like a sponge. There's less analytical ability, but there's more receiving ability. And in that moment, in those situations, what happens is that if there is a situation that is creating a negative experience, or intense emotional experience, or you have a feeling of being unsafe, helpless, out of control, you feel one of your parents is going to be harmed, domestic abuse, could be several reasons, molestation, childhood bullying in the school. There are several reasons that you somehow get affected in your brain. How do you get affected in your brain is that your mind starts to perceive this world as to be a threat. Your mind starts to perceive that world is unsafe. And the continuous thought patterns lead to a certain shift in the brain chemistry. And this is what leads to anxiety disorders or depression type of situations in the older age when you become adults. So a lot of times when you come across someone, I come across someone with anxiety all the time because I've had a severe and really long experience of anxiety, and I still am prone to anxiety than a random regular person because of the way my brain is, because of the way I process information and release the chemicals. This brain chemistry is set and done. You can manage it, you can shift it, you can take charge of it, but it's not going to completely go away. So some of the children have grown up in a very safe, strong, powerful environment. So as parents, you have this very big responsibility. Then trust me, those children have so much more resiliency. When they grow up, they have so much better mental health. They treat challenges as just the normalcy of life, not like someone else who's going through a certain type of change and is feeling like things are going out of control, right? So today, I would also leave you with one question. Have you ever addressed some of the childhood trauma or even the trauma that you've had when you were a young adult? Heartbreak or getting into fights or bullying or any such thing. It's important because sometimes those emotions are stuck in the body. That's called somatic anxiety. The trauma body is present. And whenever you perceive a threat outside, so for example, before going into the meeting, let's say there's a group meeting and you are supposed to make a presentation. A lot of people get nervous, right? Oh, I'm going to make a presentation. What people are going to think about me? Are they think I'm a fool? Will I be able to all the answer to the people and stuff like that, right? Now, where are these thoughts coming from? Have you ever questioned? Have you ever questioned, where did I learn to behave like this? Why do I behave like this? Becoming even curious about this will give you some answers. Oh, anything and everything that you experience right now in your life is just the sum total of the past experiences. That's it. I want you to take this home, please. Anything that you experience right now as an emotional experience is nothing but a repetitive past experience, because 99% of the times we are thinking about the recycled information. Only 1% of the time we are actively engaged in new conversation. And that's what we do, don't we? We keep on calling our friends and have the repetitive conversations. Record 5 calls with your friends today. And I want to see how many of you are talking about new things. We don't. That's just the nature, right? So what we're going to do now in the next 10 minutes is just understand how yoga plays a significant role in it. So far, does anybody have a question on childhood trauma or environmental pressures that they went through, or if they have ever addressed it? I know it's a little difficult, when we're in the group setting, to be vulnerable. But guys, I became vulnerable on social media. That saved my life. I started making videos. I was like, listen, like I'm messed up. I've had this severe journey out of nowhere. And I could not even connect that with my past until I really went into therapies and hired a coach and worked, through my spiritual growth. And, every time I opened my mouth, it healed me. Acceptance is the key. And each time when you open your mouth and you share your story with someone else, you're actually encouraging them to also heal, to also speak up. So it's completely your choice if anybody wants to share if they have had any such experience or if they have had anxiety and how they dealt with it. I'll just give you a a few minutes to speak about it before we go ahead and do the second segment? Anyone?
I think, Simi, we all have one or other thing, and like we talk to ourselves. You rightly said that. Sometimes we talk to ourselves, be it whatever it is. My question is how to identify that. So how to go back? And obviously, maybe something happened very back in childhood, where we pick something and we conditioned our mind and we start developing that thing. But how to find that thing? And obviously, to address or need to meet someone like you. But how can we find that out?
So the very first thing that what we need to be paying attention to is that getting angry, getting stressed, getting depressed, sad is a normal experience of life. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong by being in the state that is frustrating, agitating, sad, depressed, angry. What we do not want is to continue to stay there. It's normal to experience wide variety of emotions. It's normal to experience sadness at times. It's normal to experience grief. It's normal to experience loss. It's normal to experience depression too. But staying there is not normal. If you are staying there more often, that's a sign that the foundation is weak. The foundation is not where you can build this whole building of your life, that you need to pay attention to your healing. So healing begins by noticing what is happening to me right now and accepting it. So every day, guys, sit with yourself for 10 minutes, please, for God's sake. I know you're super busy doing what, I don't know, but we are all super busy doing what, I don't know, but we still have time. We still have the time to spend 10 minutes with ourselves and ask ourselves, how am I feeling? Check on yourself often. Check on yourself at least a couple of times a day, because nobody's going to check on you. If you think that there is going to somebody's going to come for your rescue, you're mistaken. Nobody is coming for your rescue. Not your family, not your wife, not your kids, not your parents. Nobody's coming for you. Bye, guys. You have to rescue yourself. And that simply means asking yourself, how am I feeling? Can we just check on ourselves every 2 hours if nobody's checking on us? And in fact, it's our fundamental duty, because we came here, we got birth here, we are alive. It's a very, very big deal. Lots of people are dying every day. Are they not? People are dying every day.
Yep.
You're alive. It's a bonus. So are we just going to let it go like that and never be like taking out 15 minutes for ourselves because we are so busy paying our bills? That's so stupid. That's the most stupid way of living. So I guess we need to first of all understand that I'm here, I'm alive. That is the magic. This is the miracle. It's a miracle. I'm alive. I didn't die last night. I woke up. So I'm going to just see how I feel today. So if there are signs that you're not feeling good often, that there is a continuous sense of agitation, there's a continuous stress, there's a continuous unsettling feelings, you need help. Acknowledge it. It doesn't matter where you go, but make sure that you have conversation, not only listening. You know, spirituality definitely strengthens you. Spirituality is the foundation. It could be through religion, it could be through Vedanta, it could be through any ways that you feel that you connect with life. But the questions are going to come up. You need to have someone that you can talk to. You know, that's why therapies are successful. At least why? Because in certain ways, you're able to communicate and open the platform for discussion. And that is why sometimes therapies go back to the past. In fact, most of the times they go back to the past, they go back to your childhood, because a lot of this learning is connected there. Your 10 years brain is responsible for what you are feeling today, period. So if there has to be something shifted, It has to be shifted at the very deeper level, at the emotional level, at the mental level. And that's why yoga plays a very big role. And that's what we're going to be talking about now. Okay, and then we're going to have lots of other Q&As. I'll wrap it up in 10 to 12 minutes sharp, okay? So if you're wandering off, bring your energies back here. Okay, so yoga is about the science that helps us mental control. Very simple. It's a science that was a part of our lives probably 20,000 years ago or 10,000 years ago, where the focus of people was to connect with the higher powers, connect with their energies, and know this world beyond materialism. Materialism doesn't mean money. It means this whole paradigm that we are living in. Okay, and there's nothing wrong with living in this paradigm. But the problem is that when we only get lost in this paradigm, we lose the touch with ourselves. So yoga is a science to come back to ourselves, to get connection, to feel that connection with ourselves, balance our body and mind connection, and also build the connection with the world outside. I'm going to tell you something. A lot of the people that you meet every day have a certain angst, a certain type of negativity, a certain type of comment about how bad the world is. Isn't true? Isn't it true? Majority of the world, majority of the people think, oh my God, this life is a suffering. It's too much pressure. It's too much stress. The world is a bad shit. A lot of bullshit is happening. How many of us are paying attention to the goodness that is always available to us? Right? So it's because the focus is too much outside, it's less inside. The more you put focus on inside, you'll see that you are the universe in yourself. It's a miracle. Human being is a miracle. So yoga tends to bring us back. If you follow a particular religion, like I'm Sikh by religion, and I don't think there's a significant difference in practices when it comes to bringing our mind together. So it's nothing to do with the religion. Any kind of mantra, whether it's Vaheguru or Om or any particular word that you use, which is causing a certain sensation, it is breaking your connection with the thinking all the time and bringing your mind to the center. You can follow that. That is yoga. Yoga is the union with yourself. So how does it play a role in the mental health? Is because there are three things that we always want in our mental health. Number one, relaxation. Number two, response, proper response. And number three, rejuvenation. Relaxation, response, and rejuvenation. These are the three elements that we want. So if you wanna note it down, you can note it down. Relaxation, how does yoga help in relaxation? Well, we have a limbic brain, which is a brain for 100,000 years ago, which is an emotionally triggered brain. We have a part in the brain that's called amygdala. So each time you process a negative information or you process certain threat, which by the way, now these days is just being stuck in the traffic or just facing your angry boss. These are the threats that we live in. We don't live in the real threat where the tiger is going to come and kill your family. But even these threats are triggering the threat response of your brain and releasing the cortisol chemical. Cortisol chemical is a stress chemical. It causes your body to get into fight and flight mode, right? So when you're in the fight and fight mode, what happens is that you're responding to the threat and you're bringing your body down. So what happens when you're stressed? Anybody, quickly. What happens in the body when you're stressed?
You feel tired.
Tired? Absolutely.
We are not
Fatigue.
ourselves. Yeah, we are not ourselves. You're anxious.
You're anxious.
Mhm.
We don't think
Yes.
straight.
Right? So it jeopardizes the focus, attention, our thinking, our ability to energize ourselves, motivate ourselves. Like all the functions of the creativity are going down. We got into fight and flight mode, which means that we're putting our body in unnecessary energy sucking situation. Like energy sucked out of the body. There's no focus, no attention. You're feeling the fatigue, right? So when we are continuously living like that, it's very common for us to say now these days, oh, I'm very stressed. I'm very stressed. There's a lot of stress. That means I'm already defining it. I'm putting a stamp on myself that I'm fatigued, I'm demotivated, I'm not focused, I'm not attentive. Think about this for a second. And I'm always in a fight and flight mode. So then how the energy is going to come for you to be productive? Where is it going to come from? Yoga, what it does is basically allows you to release another chemical by stimulating vagus nerve. Please write it down. Vagus nerve. Vagus nerve is a nerve that starts from the throat and it goes from all the internal organs and go into the gut. When we do any asanas that involves the movement of the body in a certain way that yoga asanas are, or do the deep breathing like we did before, and there are certain breathing patterns, Ujjayi pranayam and Brahmari pranayam. You can Google them out, plenty of videos on it. They basically stimulate this part of your body that activates the vagus nerves. When the vagus nerve is activated, it brings your body into parasympathetic nervous system, which is the nervous system of rest and digest. It's all science. We have enough data to support this. Just breathing 10 minutes deeply can activate your vagus nerve. And if you want to, just do it in a little better way, then just do Brahmari pranayam or even Om, which is going to activate this part of your body. Okay. So when vagus nerve is activated, there's a release of the chemical called GABA, G-A-B-A. We need a lot of GABA. If you go online, you'll see there are millions of supplements available for GABA. GABA is gamma aminobutyric acid. That is also responsible for you to feel relaxed and happy and can sleep properly and have a little bit more response time. So you're not fighting with life all the time. You're not triggered all the time. You are in flow. You have a certain ability to perceive things more than what they look like to you right now. If they look like to you, it's like, oh, threat is coming, you zoom out. You zoom out from the situation and you see, okay, I see this. So what's my best course of action here, right? So that is what is response time. And why response time matters? Anybody? Come on. We just have 10 minutes left. Why response time is important for our mental health?
Because that shows that how active we are. Like if the response time will take like too much time to respond to anything, that means that we are not paying attention to it. We are like, our mind is wandering. So we are not focused. And when our response time is less, that shows that we are focused. We are able to grasp what is there, quickly process it and react to it as well. So that shows.
Yeah. Wonderful. That is attention and focus. If I flip this question and I say, at times, why taking the time to respond is important? That's also important, right? For mental health.
Yep,
Why?
absolutely.
Why? Is because how many times have you put yourself in unnecessary conflict, unnecessary anxiety, unnecessary threats, just because you responded quickly? You responded just with the heat of the argument and not with thoughtfulness. I have put myself into that situation not many times when I was younger, right? We know that a fight with a certain person is not going to lead us anywhere because it's not useful, but we still do that because somehow the ego mind tells you, you need to defend yourself, right? So, but we know overall, my mental health is dependent on how I perceive and how I react, because I know from the other end, only one thing is going to come, which is more garbage. And I don't need it. So I'm going to set the boundary. That's what is going to give me a better emotional health, a better mental health. And why do I need better mental health is, again, we all know that we want to have more control. We want to have greatest careers. We want to have more money. We want to have more respect. We want to have more self-worthiness. We want to have more confidence. All of us want more of that. The last is rejuvenation, and then we're going to open the window for Q&A, and then we'll wrap it up with a meditation. Rejuvenation is about reactivating the dead aspects of your brain. You know, there are more than 100 billion neurons in your brain, and they're always dying and rebuilding. This front part of the brain is responsible for analytical abilities. It's called the prefrontal cortex. And cerebral cortex, this area, and hippocampus, these are two areas of your brain responsible for learning and decision-making and memory. Learning, hippocampus is for memory. And when we practice yoga, asanas and pranayama, which is our breathing exercises, there's a scientific evidence that these two parts of the brain get thickened. More cerebral cortex, more learning power, more analytical ability, more solid communication. And I know all of you are looking to grow in your careers. I'm just showing you the evidence. It works. So can we just spend 15, 20 minutes each day to learn about yoga in such a way that it's applicable? And guys, even if you feel that time is a limitation, just 15 minutes of sitting in a posture and 15 minutes of doing alternate nose breathing, Kapalbhati, and deep breathing itself is more than enough. Just 30 minutes a day. 30 minutes consistently for 1 month. I would love for you to write down back to me and tell me that, Simi, magic has happened. At least, can we just try this? I promise I'll reply to each one of you, because I know the problem is that we listen to everything, we go back and what we say to ourselves, 30 minutes is hard. I don't have time. It was a great talk. I learned a lot, but who's going to implement on it? Here's the deal. I challenge you. I challenge you today. Can you just take 21 minutes? 21 minutes by the clock. I promise you, you do have 21 minutes. You're breathing. You don't even have to go somewhere and get a breath. You already have a breath. So can we just sit with ourselves, 1 or 2 postures, go to millions of yoga tutorials, whatever you want to do, sit on the mat. And for this practice, ideally find a place that you have as a corner in the house, you know, just something that you want to build in your own way, center your energies there, and do the breath work or some meditation, because there are 8 limbs of yoga, okay, starting from yam, niyam, pratyahara, and pranayama, dhyan, dharana, samadhi. So there are all different limbs. Every limb has a meaning. So we're not going to go into detail in the yoga philosophy. But the point is, breath is your friend. You're alive because you're breathing. The breath is going to go away. You're dead. No usage of anything of your faculties. So you have the link between you and the life. That is your breath. And that is everything to control your mind. If you want to read more and are curious about yoga, I'll encourage you to read Yoga Sutras by Patanjali. I was reading this yesterday. I've been reading this book for the past 4 or 5 years, and still there's something new that comes up. And this can just give you a little bit more in-depth knowledge if you're interested about yoga as a philosophy and how mental control is possible. So I'm going to recap this right here so that we can take the question answers. So I talked about relaxation. I talked about response time, and I talked about rejuvenation. So anything that is related to mental health, be it the control of your mind, be it improving your mind, be it your overall well-being, be it your relationships, be it your self-connection, yoga has the possibility to touch upon all these aspects and beautifully transform them. But less talks, more action, right? Let's give it a shot. And you know what? I'll tell you this. If some of you say, Simi, but I don't even know how to do pranayama. Hey, listen, it takes about less than 500 rupees if you're sitting in India, or maybe a couple of dollars, $30, $40, to just take 1 or 2 classes online. Willingness and intention has to be there. Am I taking the charge? Am I taking the responsibility? Am I convinced that yoga can help me? Even if I'm not convinced today, can I just take the first step and try it out before I say, oh, it's not for me? Can we give it a shot? Are we open to the possibilities? If you're not open to the possibilities while we are alive, what the hell are we doing here? I don't know. Why shouldn't we try everything in this world to make ourselves happier? Why not? Why to put like, you know, a roadblock in some of the aspects that we have never tried before? Everything is possible. Okay, so let's open it for Q&A for about next 10 minutes. Any questions, guys? Shoot.
Hi, Simi. I have a question.
Mhm.
So I wanted to ask, I'm not sure if I make sense, but that came to my mind. I usually have a fear of failure. Like,
Mhm.
like I try to give my best, but still somewhere in my mind, I feel like,
Mhm.
what if I fail? So is it, can meditation help or something else?
Yeah. First of all, thank you so much for being brave. You're very brave. Okay.
Thank you.
And coming out in front of the 100 people and saying that I fear I have the fear of failure is a powerful thing. You're very brave. Does anybody else have a similar fear? Let's see who else is brave here. Shruti said that she has it too. Anyone else? You
I
can just
think
type in the chat
like
box.
most of the people have their fear of failure. Degree might vary, but most of us have it.
Most of us have it, right? Lot of people are writing down fear of rejection, fear. My goodness, such a heavyweight word, right? Where have we learned this word from? No, I'm seriously curious. Luke, right? Mr. Batra, where do
Yep.
you think that we have learned the word fear from? How did it come in our mind? Who taught us? Do you get curious about it? Like, I'm really curious about it. Where did it come from? So the reason the reason why I am asking you this question is, and to all of us really, is to question the origination of the thought itself. I am so entangled with the experience of the fear, experience of the feeling, that I started believing it. I am identified with my feeling. You are not your feeling, my friend. You are the one who is experiencing the feeling. Unless you stop being one with it, you can't question it. Feelings, thoughts, emotions are just like the passing clouds in the sky. They're going to come and go. But if you say that cloud is me, then what do I say to you? That's not true. You're not cloud. Same way, experience of fear is a natural phenomenon. Why? Because it's self-preservation. We have learned it from ages. But mental fear, right now, there is, listen to this very important thing today. You're alive. Okay? There's no physical threat right now in your life. You're going to live today, at least for sure, right?
Yep.
This is a great place to understand that while I'm here, while I'm alive, there is only one possibility. The one possibility is that I can use this moment to improve and better my life's experience. Because that's what I really want to do right now. Like, I'm alive. What should I do with this moment? I'm going to do something that's going to make me happier. So focus on that. Now, the fear of failure, these are all learned behaviors. This is not true. These are not the real things of your life. The real thing is that you are alive. Tomorrow you might be dead. Tomorrow I might be dead. There is no reality to the experience as long as I am focusing too much on it. If I'm focusing on just being on fear, that becomes the reality of my life, right? So Couple of things. One is, do not expect unnecessary stuff from yourself. Do not seek validation from outside for your self-worthiness. Do not be an expert of anything. I hate labels. I don't even like when someone introduces me, like yesterday, we had this 8th Yoga Annual Expo, a large event happening in Vancouver, Canada. And they're like, how do you want to be introduced? I said, just introduce me as someone who had mental health issues and she has recovered and she wants to talk about it. What type of expertise are we talking about? We're all expert in our own way in everything. There's no such thing called expertise. Take off the pressure. And that's why whenever I open my mouth, I come for the events like this, whether they're 10,000 people or 100 people. I'm just talking. Okay. So I don't care. If you feel that this is relatable, I'm going to give my best, of course. You go somewhere, you give your best. How do you give your best? Think about what the audience can take benefit from. Think about how I can add value. Think about how can I bring the right intention and energy. That's all you can do. Whether they're going to pass you or fail you is up to them. And it really even doesn't matter, because there's something else that you can do to make yourself happy. That's the end goal. As long as I'm alive, my job is to make myself happy. That's it. Nobody else is going to come and make you happy. So these fearful ideas are just the ideas. And please remember, become curious of your own experiences and thoughts. Where are they coming from? That's the very first place to start. Okay, any other question? Thank you so much, Luke. We have a little less time, otherwise I would have gone a little bit deeper. Anyone else?
So we have questions in chat, Simi. We have one from Ragini. Yoga, the practice we talked about, it gives the best results, we all know, but since it requires daily practice to see results, and we want to do it, but we human always look for instant results. So the actual problem is, how can we stick to the solution?
Okay, good. It's a very important question and very, very good question. See, the thing with yoga, honestly speaking, the experience is so immediate that it has to pull you into the practice by itself. But because old patterns are so strong, embedded in your being, you're so used to of distraction, you're so used to of not following a discipline, it can, deviate you from sitting down for even 10-15 minutes. So the outcome, Ragini, is immediate. Like right now, we will just do the practice in a two more minutes. When we did the practice the first time, when we just sat down and centered our energies and we were present in the moment, it felt so good, wasn't it? So give yourself the taste of that often. Sitting on the chair in your office, close your eyes, listen to maybe an audio of meditation. There are millions of meditation apps that you can use. I use Breathe, Insight Timer, Calm. There are many apps that you can use. Make sure that every 3 hours, 4 hours, you plug that in for 5 minutes. Nobody's going to bother you. This is also going to set the foundation and clear out the weeds, clear out the unnecessary excuses and thoughts so that you can build your practice. But if you haven't tasted the mango, you cannot describe it to anybody how mangoes taste. The same way, if you taste the power of meditation, taste the power of yoga, it tastes good. If something tastes good, why don't you want to go and eat it again? Right? So the discipline is the result of that experience. So we at least want to give ourselves 7 days though. Okay, after 7 days, if I don't feel anything, I'm not going to go back to that, because that's not going to happen. After 7 days, you will have the result. So can we just all accept that we can do 20 minutes of some sort of asanas, some sort of meditation, some sort of breathing exercises? Millions of them are available online on the YouTube. Pick up anyone, but let's commit to it. Can we do that for the next 7 days? 20 minutes, are all of us in?
Yes.
Yes.
Good. That's lovely. So guys, I wish we could continue, but I know that we have had 1 hour together. I hope this was worthwhile of your time. I hope so. If that's true, then please type in the chat, yes, in the chat box, so that we have some feedback to what we did today together. And to wrap up, let's sit down in meditation for a couple of more minutes and set our intention for the rest of the day. Sit upright, shoulders relaxed. Bring your attention on your feet. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Notice your feet getting heavier. Can you please put everybody on mute, Shruti? Request here. Notice your feet on the ground, on the floor. And notice that they are getting heavier as you're relaxing them a little bit more. Release the weight of your body. Drop your shoulders. And gently bring your focus between your eyebrows. Keep on breathing in and out from the nose. Listen to these affirmations as I speak of them, and embrace them deep in your heart. May you be well and healthy. May you be peaceful. May you be loved. May you be kind and gentle. May you be productive and purposeful. May you be well and healthy. May you be peaceful and kind. May you be purposeful and productive. May you continue to spread your light all around you. May you continue to shine brighter with your spirit's light. May you continue to embrace the goodness. May you continue to take refuge in God's, in universe's blanket of love. May you be given the right guidance and direction. May you be peaceful. Set an intention to spend the rest of the day in this stillness, giving yourself the opportunity to respond, rather react, giving yourself encouragement to leave behind old beliefs and excuses and commit to your growth, your improvement, your peace, and your mental health. I thank you for being a part of this beautiful gathering tonight. I loved being of value and service to you. Thank you so much for your participation, and I'm hoping to see you very soon again. Lots of love.
And before you drop, Simi, the theme for this year's Yoga 2022 was Yoga for Humanity, and the wonderful effort that you have put in, for the ITBD community with such a wonderful human being you are. We sincerely thank you so much. Thank you so much, Simi.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate. Lots of love, guys. Take care, and hopefully see you soon. Thank you, Shruti, for organizing
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you. Thank you
everyone.
so much.
Simi.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Bye, team.
Bye.